When I was 19 and totally broke, I believed money was going to fix everything. I honestly thought once I made it, all the stress, all the insecurity, all the problems would be gone. 30 years later, after building real wealth, I can tell you something most people will never say out loud. Money didn't change my bank account. It changed me as a human being. Some changes were incredible, some were awful, and today I'm going to share with you the truth about how wealth transforms you in ways nobody talks about. I'm Jeff Quintin. I spent over 3 decades building wealth and businesses, and yes, I've been consistently ranked the top 1% in our industry, but this video isn't about bragging or teaching you how to get rich. You can find a million videos about that. What I'm talking to you about today is what happens after you get there. Most people teaching money topics have never actually built wealth, or they're trying to sell you a fantasy. I want to share with you the real psychology and emotional journey from being 19 years old and having literally nothing to building millions and what that does to you as a person. This isn't a complaint or a victory lap. This is the honest reality of how money changes you and what I deeply wish someone had told me before I started chasing success. See, when I was broke, I was a totally different person than I am today. At 19, starting out in business, I had $3,000 saved, right? And 6 weeks later, it was gone. I remember choosing between gas and food, wearing the same shirts week after week, hoping that nobody noticed. Living in a tiny little apartment full of just street furniture, it wasn't glamorous at all. But you know what? Back then, I was unbelievably hungry and I had humility. I was grateful for every ounce of opportunity. And when someone gave me advice, I listened to it like my life depended on it because it did. And I was connected to people, understood struggle because I was struggling. Someone else's hardship felt like my hardship. I thought money was the answer. I believed once I got money, I'd be happy. I'd be confident, I'd be respected. Everything broke inside would magically fix itself, right? But I was naive, but I was just pure, right? I wanted success so I could take care of the people that I loved and not just myself. The first real money I ever made was the first year I hit $100,000, and holy crap, I felt like the world had opened. Suddenly, no more fear about rent, right? No more anxiety about groceries. I could go out to dinner and pick up the check. But that first taste of money is also started creeping into who I was. I started thinking I was smarter than I really was. I thought financially that I knew it all. I thought financial success automatically made me right about everything. I began giving advice when nobody had asked for it. I lost patience with people who were struggling financially, even though I had been right there not too long before this. And I started using money to fix problems instead of learning to solve them. Hire someone, pay someone, outsource everything. It worked for short term, but long term, I stopped developing the muscles you build through the struggle. I didn't see that yet. So as the years went on and as my wealth exploded, the changes in me got louder. In my early 30s, I was making more money than most people would ever see, and it got to me. I became arrogant. I thought my success was meant that I was superior. I judged people financially. I looked down on people who were achieving and forgetting about where I came from. I lost touch of reality. I stopped understanding what things cost. $200 dinners became nothing. Bills that other people struggled with felt foreign to me. Relationships suffered. I didn't listen anymore. I was just simply diagnosed. I lectured, but I wasn't being condescending. I just got a little more paranoid. I questioned who actually liked me and who liked what I could do for them. So first of all, I tied my identity to my net worth. If the month was good, I felt good about myself. If the numbers were down, I questioned my worth as a man. My self-esteem became tied directly to my bank account. So my wake-up call came about 10 years ago into the journey. We're at a family gathering and my cousin, basically mentoring, he was struggling to pay his bills. And instead of empathy, I launched into a lecture about work ethic and I watched his face drop. Later, my other family pulled me aside and said, "Jeff, you used to be the most compassionate person I knew. Money has made you cold." That one sentence smashed me. I sat awake that night realizing I'd become the exact type of wealthy person I used to hate. So the truth hit me. Money doesn't change who you are. It amplifies who you already are. If you're arrogant, money makes you more arrogant. If you're insecure, money magnifies the insecurity. If you're generous, money gives you gives you more to give. And I realized recognizing this was one thing. Changing was a whole different battle. I had to intentionally reconnect with who I was at 19. Not through just donations, but through people. I started volunteering, I started writing checks, I started rediscovering empathy. I listened to people struggling instead of trying to fix them. I practiced my humility all over again. I admitted when I didn't know, what I was doing, or I didn't know something. I apologized to people that, I'd hurt or dismissed. I worked to rebuild relationships. I tried to separate Jeff the person from Jeff the net worth. And I began measuring success differently, not by a bank balance, but by the character, relationships, impact, and integrity. Today, after 30 years plus, 30 years plus in this career, I have a much healthier relationship with money. Money has given me options. It lets me take care of my family. It lets me be generous. It lets me take risk and think bigger. But the negatives are real too. Money can make you numb. It can isolate you, or it can distort your identity. It can make you believe you're bulletproof. What I've learned is simple. Money isn't good or bad. Money is a mirror. It reflects who you are louder. If you're on your journey now and you just want to build financial goals, build character goals. Ask yourself, who do I want to become, right? Or who do I want to be when I'm successful? Then start being that person now. If you're struggling right now, or if you're looking to build wealth right now, here's what I wish I would have known. Money will change you, so decide how. Don't lose empathy. Stay connected to struggle. Character matters more than net worth. Never let money become your identity. Money is a terrible master, but an incredible servant. So, the journey from broke to wealthy is not just about dollars, it's about identity. It's about relationships, humility, pride, empathy, and who you become along the way. If you already have money, make sure it's making you better, not harder, colder, or emptier. If this message spoke to you, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notifications, and keep learning. And if you're serious about becoming one of the top 1% agents in the country, click the link in the description, watch the next video, and I'll show you exactly how to do it.